Welcome back to Skylab Gaming with your host, Skylab Gaming Creation. And hey, I wanted to share something a little bit different with you guys today. Just when you think Skyrim was beaten to the dust and exhumed from the grave, here we are with Enderal. And this is what's called an overhaul mod. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it as soon as I defeat these enemies right quick here. So I am a mage. I'm real good at slinging spells. So we're going to try to kill these skeletons, these Skelantonios, with some magical fireballs. Here we go. Alright. Some for you. Ooh. Nice. Whoa! Whoa, he came from nowhere. Eat my double fireball that I totally did not miss there. Alright, and then one more guy here. Wait, that's not that's the guy. Alright. Whoa, whoa! How's he gonna dodge on me? That's alright, I know something that he can't dodge. My oblud, the Uraboya. Yeah, punch him now. Get him. This guy is really crazy, as you can see. Except for when he doesn't mysteriously die. Interesting. Alright, I guess I'll shoot him with a couple fireballs. Maybe two. That'll do the job. And it looks like we have actually defeated them. Yay! Now, just what is Enderal? As you can see, this is a little bit different of a mod than, well, just about anything else. Enderal is what's called an overhaul mod or a world mod, if you prefer that term. Basically, it's an entirely new world that's built on the Skyrim engine and updated at that. So there's a couple things that makes this particular mod a little bit special. First off, if you've noticed already, the world is enormous. I mean, it's huge and it's brand new. I mean, it is based off of the Skyrim universe. And if you've played Skyrim before, you'll be fairly familiar with the vast majority of the things that are in this game as far as systems go. But the worlds, the areas, the towns, the monsters, the weapons, the items, there is more new stuff than you can shake a stick at. I mean, you've got new NPCs, new armor, you've got fully voiced people, as you can hear it's going on, you've got all original music. The amount of work that went into this mod is absolutely amazing. Like I said, I'd like to share some fun and unique stuff with you guys, so hopefully this is something that you can enjoy. This mod is 100% free, and I will definitely be putting the download link in the description below. But for now, we're going to play a little bit and show the game off. So there are a few interesting mechanics, especially as far as magic goes. So in the game, and really what is centralized around the game's main storyline, is this mysterious arcane fever. You come into the world basically with this arcane fever, and it's not really quite explained until why, but basically if you let it get too high, it starts becoming detrimental to your stats, and eventually it can even turn you into a crazy wild mage who is completely out of control. So you don't want to let your arcane fever get too high. Now, when you heal or you use potions, it increases your arcane fever by just a little bit. And we'll stop there. And as you can see, arcane fever rose 0 to 38%. Now, the thing about it is, the healing spells, they only increase your arcane fever by very, very little, 0.15% per second. So if you're going to use light magic or you're going to heal yourself, not a big deal. Now, another interesting thing to point out in the game is meditation. So actually increasing your skills, you have to go to a separate area that I'll show you right quick with an ability that you get in the very beginning of the game called meditation. Now, once you use the meditation ability, it pulls you to this kind of crazy, mysterious, like sort of spacey area where you can use your points for leveling up. Once you level up, you get some memory points and you can use those on memories. Now, as stated previously, I'm a mage and I've played a little bit of a warrior and a little bit of a rogue on separate files. They all seem very strong and very balanced to me. I just like using magic because you can do a ton of really, really crazy things. So if you actually go up to these little nodes and you press A, it'll give you the description of the memory and you can use a memory point on it to unlock it. So I actually have a memory point here, so I will show you that in just a second here. Now, you do get enough points to fully fill out basically 2 of these and a little bit more. So if you wanted to dual spec, you could absolutely do that. So you've got the warrior stone over here, you've got some armor abilities, You've got some melee abilities, some blade, some hammer, and then you've got the rogue abilities. Now, I personally find that the rogue abilities and the mage abilities are the most interesting thing to me because they can really change the way that you play the game. For instance, you've got these talents. So these talents basically give you these short cooldown abilities that don't cost anything to use that are very powerful, like this Arctic Wind ability that can freeze your opponents, which is very, very strong if you're a mage. So if you're running away from a bad guy, just turn around and you can blast him real quick. Now, as you can see, the game is absolutely beautiful. There is a full list of mods that are actually rolled into this game, but there's a few that you'll notice right off the bat. First is the luscious vegetation, and then the second is this UI mod that, it makes it makes organization of items absolutely easier. So it's all separated out by tabs, and then it's separated out by these sub-tabs like name, type, time, weight, value, and so on and so forth, with all the different types of items that you have in the game. Now, another thing to point out is that mana and health do regenerate, but it seems it regenerates a lot more slowly in this game. And we've got a highwayman here, so there are wandering highwaymen like in all the other games. We're gonna try to run away from him here as he attempts to slash me. All right, here we go. And he's gonna miss. I'm gonna blast him. He's gonna go flying. Once you do get a little bit higher leveled in the destruction magic, you kind of become this, I'm not gonna say unstoppable force, but you become very, very strong. And this poor highwayman, he never stood a chance. Now we're gonna go ahead and wander to some new areas and see if we can't find someone that's maybe a little more challenging after we kill this mysterious man in this tower. There he is. Have at thee, highwayman. How dare you! Eat my... Oh, he's dead. As he ragdolls to the very bottom. As a mage, you're still a little on the weak armor side, so be careful with that. The eastern side of the map here, we kind of have the Ville area, and true to its name, it is a desert, but it is a luscious jungle desert. Absolutely interesting area. Now, if we do encounter some enemies here, these guys are a little more on my level, so could be a little bit more of a challenge. Hopefully I don't die while I am showing off this area to you. But like I said, there is a myriad of enemies and all sorts of neutral NPCs that you come across that are just, they're all very interesting. Like take for instance this skull in a mountain. I don't know what it's all about, but it's pretty cool. And now here's an enemy right here. Hopefully we can blast him with fireballs too. A pus beetle. That sounds disgusting, but we're gonna shoot him with fireballs and defeat him too. Like I said, once you really get your talents going, things get a little bit easier. But that said, especially with Arcane Fever, the game can be fairly difficult. So if you need to turn the difficulty down or you need to take a little time to get used to the game, that is not an issue at all. Some classes, and I say classes, some classes may be a little more difficult to play than others. Like if you're going to go with like a hybrid. So in the beginning, I was actually going to go with swords and magic, but I found that pretty hard to do because I was taking a fair bit of damage in melee no matter what I did. As we come upon another enemy here, let's go ahead and we're going to use our summon again because that seemed to be pretty good last time. Actually cast it on the ground to something that works here. All right. Oh, and as you can see, another talent that I'm using here is called Focus, and that reduces the mana needs by 33% for all of my spells. So very, very good spell. The old Tyargi's like a monkey or something of the sort. Hey, and we actually leveled up here. We're going to go ahead and increase our mana. Now, when you do level up, you get the choice to increase health, mana, or stamina, and then you also get a memory point and learning points, which I'll explain in just a minute. Now, as I stated earlier, you have these things that are called learning points, and as you can see, these are your stats here. Now, the stats work a little bit differently than Skyrim. In Skyrim, you use those abilities and you level them up as you go along. Here, they only level up when you buy these certain books, these learning books, which you can buy from a myriad of different vendors. Different vendors sell different kinds of books. You really just kind of have to experiment to see. As you can see here, my elementarism is very, very high because that is what I have chosen to focus on. Over on class, you'll see kind of what the game tries to classify you as. So I am an elementalist and a sinistrope, so I blast things with fireballs. I occasionally summon things, and I will occasionally use I dabble in other types of magic. So like I said, there are learning points, and you can use those learning points every time that you buy a book and you read that book on your according level. Then it will raise your ability by 1 point. Now, once you get, past 25, you'll have to start using higher level books. So there's beginner books, there's apprentice books, there's adept books, master books, and grandmaster books. As you get up to those higher level books, some of them can be very difficult to use. So it would behoove you to pick 2 or 3 things that you really want to be good at, and I would focus in on those things. Not to say that you can't become good at a lot of things, it's just going to take a lot of learning points and you won't be as strong in the end for it. Now on the bottom you can see workmanship. Those are crafting points, and I kind of like that they actually separated those out, because you've got alchemy, pickpocketing, lockpicking, enchanting, handicraft, and rhetoric. And those all being separate, you can use your crafting points instead of your learning points. Same thing with the books. You read the books, you get a point, and it'll increase it by 1 for each book that you read. And you can use your crafting points instead, which you get separately from leveling up, which is nice because you can level those separately from your main combat skills. Really, I've only taken rhetoric for selling stuff that's better, but if you are playing a rogue, that's definitely something you want to be aware of so that you can learn pickpocketing and lockpicking and stuff like that on the side. Very, very handy skills to have. Now, like I said, I'm not really specialized for melee, but sometimes it's fun to just get in there and get up close and personal. Up close and personal. Let's see, we can't actually, hold on, just, I can't actually kill this guy in the water, so there we go. Maybe shoot him with 1 fireball. There we go. Oh, whew, we got him. I will not pay for that, in fact, because you are dead. Having later game equipment certainly helps also. We're going to trudge through this water and keep on going up here. As you can see, the combat, even though there are some different abilities by and large, the combat is pretty much the same as Skyrim, but with some nice bug fixes and some nice updates to certain animations. Now, if you're one of those people that thought that the main storyline, the main plot line in Skyrim was a little weak, then this is definitely the game for you. I cannot recommend it high enough from that point of view. Really, without giving too much of the story away, I will say it's more of a mature, thoughtful sort of plot, and there are also a myriad of interesting side plot lines. So it's not just about the main story here, but the main story is very interesting. It's sort of dark, and it's a little bit different than what would be described as the normal Skyrim or Elder Scrolls fare. Skyrim took a little bit of a departure into the more serious territory, but you won't find a lot of that sort of former silliness here. There's a lot of serious and sort of dark matters that are interwoven into the story that they make you think about certain things, and that is, I approve of that very, very highly for this sort of mod. As we attempt to kill more of these highwaymen here. Alright, come here, sir. Eat my knife. Okay, as I miss, I'm gonna miss again. Alright, we're just gonna shoot fireballs at these guys too. There we go. And a bear, apparently. Fight me then, bear. As you can see, there are textures on a lot of these new weapons that are really, really detailed. So if you're a person that's into that, into that sort of thing, there's a lot of stuff from the base game that you'll see, but a lot of the textures look very, very nice here. As we try to defeat one more archer here. There we go. I don't think he stood a chance, really. But yes, the story in the game, without giving too much of it away, it's very in-depth, and if you're the type of person, like I said, that didn't quite enjoy the Skyrim storyline, then maybe this is for you. And if it's not, there are a million other different things to explore and to find. I mean, it's a very large area, as you can see. There's kind of 3 or 4 big major cities, and then there's all sorts of stuff in between that you can adventure around and find. So definitely a lot of content to keep you busy here. So a few footnotes that I do want to point out. Like I said, Arcane Fever is definitely one of those interesting mechanics in the game. It's really just another thing that you do have to manage, but you really do want to be careful about watching your level on it, because you can scroll over to your active statuses over in Magic. You've got this weird fever, and that's actually what it is. You have to be careful about it letting it rise too high, because it will take away from your stats and then eventually just kind of go crazy, and eventually you'll die. So you don't want to let that get too high. To toss back to Morrowind, actually, where you have the riders, you've got these myrads that are kind of cool that'll help you go to different areas. Now, I do want to point out something in the game. There is no fast travel. Now, if that's not really your style of things, that's okay. You can get a quick travel mod for Enderal, and they also actually have a list of mods that are compatible with Enderal. So if you want to do more things with Enderal, you can even do that. Now, I also installed a quick travel mod because I like moving along quickly, but if you're the type of person that doesn't like that, that's fine. The game comes as is, and you can walk and ride your horse and donkey every which way that your little adventuring heart pleases. I cannot recommend this game high enough. And I keep on saying game like it's a separate game, but it really is. If you have Skyrim and you have not tried out Enderal, you need to go give it a try. I can almost guarantee you will not regret the experience. There are tons of things that I even still think about from the main storyline that they're just absolutely crazy. I hope you guys end up enjoying this mod as much as I did. If you guys enjoyed the video, then please leave me a like and comment below what your favorite part of Enderal is if you've ever played the game before, or what you're most excited about if you haven't played before. As I attempt to kill this pus beetle that I didn't see. Here we go. Oh, this one got a little bit on me. Until I have another new or interesting thing to show you guys, this is your host, Skylab Gaming Crazian, signing off.